So Disentombs started what, like 2009, right? Around there?
Yeah, it was about 2009. I think there was talks of doing the band in 2008, but 2009 is when we first started recording some songs and really just getting stuff undergoing. So, it's kind of mind blowing that that was, 16 years ago.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So what was going on metal wise in Brisbane? Like were there like full death metal shows or were you guys playing like kind of mixed bag lineups or?
Yeah, look, I feel like Disentomb had this really great opportunity to kick things off because there was a weekly metal night
Oh,
every night
nice.
at
Yeah.
a venue called Rosie's, Monstrothic Events, ran by James Geeky. And there used to be so many shows every single week of just extreme metal. So that's kind of there was this really solid scene that was popping off at that time, and it meant we got to play with interstate bands and that sort of thing. It was a really cool opportunity. So I feel like that gave us the first kick where we could link up with all these bands that were coming through Brisbane and then eventually play interstate with them and that sort of thing. So there was some really good extreme metal lineups.
Mm. Yeah, cool, man. Well, talking good lineups, you guys just announced you're playing Melbourne Death Fest in March next year. Yeah, that's a pretty bloody good lineup, man. Like,
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I was looking at the flyer and there's a few bands that I'm stoked to see. Golgoth and Remains.
mm.
I'm fucking super excited for that. Um, yeah, man, I feel like there's been heaps of cool shows coming up or that have been around in the last year or so where some sick lineups are happening in like all Aussie bands.
Yeah, it's great, man. I was listening to Nothing Above, the EP you guys put out in October earlier
Yeah.
today. That's like a real crisp, fat sound, yeah. Like, how do you guys go about producing? Is there someone in-house who kind of mixes everything, or are you kind of, there's someone else taking care of that for you?
Well, it's actually all our bassist, Adrian
Mm,
Capoletti. So
yeah.
he runs in-earn production. So he recorded everything um, for that Nothing Above EP. And he does all the mixing as well. So and the mastering on that. So he actually absolutely destroys. He kind of knows what we're after. Um, and yeah, he puts his own mix on it. So he's done so many bands. Like he's done Threshold, like the hardcore band from Melbourne. Um, he's done heaps of other sick stuff. So we're pretty lucky to have him in the band, like where he can sort of help us craft that sound that we're going after. Especially now that we're 3 albums in, we got an EP like that Nothing Above EP. For someone to be within the band that can help us continue the sort of sound that we want with each release, like it's a pretty lucky feeling.
Yeah, man. That's cool. Does he record other bands as well? Like, or is he just
Yeah,
kind of
he
working? Yeah.
records heaps of other bands. I'm trying to think of ones he's actually recorded, but I don't want to like just shout out bands he hasn't. But pretty sure he's recorded Alga Mortis. He recorded and mixed all the new Deliquest, so Adrian's other band,
Oh, yeah.
um, Melbourne death metal band Deliquest, which by far one of the sickest bands to come out of Australia ever. So um, yeah, he's done a whole bunch of really cool stuff.
Yeah, cool, man. The No God Unconquered song's got Johnny from Job for a Cowboy on there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. They're from Arizona, right? How'd you get together with those guys?
yeah. So since since I was about 15, I was always a massive Job for a Cowboy fan. They were the first death metal band I ever saw. Um, when I was 17 back in 2007, and it was after our second album came out, Misery. Um, I found out someone had mentioned that Johnny Davey was a fan of that album,
Oh, cool.
and I was like, "Fuck, it's pretty crazy." So eventually, we ended up following each other on Instagram, and he came out to see a show when we played the US and back in 2016, and we'd just gotten Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder to do guest vocals on Misery, and yeah, I mentioned to Johnny saying, "Man, I'd always love to have you on a song," and so that was like literally 10 years ago. We were talking about that, and yeah, it sort of the opportunity came up about 2 years ago, and he was keen. So yeah,
Yeah,
so that was like a bit of a bucket list for me actually to have him on a song. So he's
yeah,
such a
man.
wild vocalist.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. That video's got some wild visuals as well. Yeah, you got like burning
Yeah,
buildings
yeah.
in the sky and stuff. Like, how did that come together? Did you guys have much input into that?
Oh, we had a little bit. It was a bit of a different one where we we were just unsure of what to do for a music video. So we're like, oh, let's just sort of there's this 3D artist that I saw, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty sick. Let's try that out. So it's something a bit different, but and we just kind of gave the same sort of themes and lyrics and stuff, and he came up with this sort of wild visuals that looks like it's out of a video game. So it's something a bit different, but I think it suits the song.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good. So 2014's Misery is back on Spotify now, but like I saw on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
socials that it was off there for a bit. Like, what happened there?
yeah. That's it got it got removed because I think it was like some sort of licensing finished up. It was just a real basic move of something like that where
Hmm.
what the licensing lapsed or like the fees didn't get paid for it to go on Spotify, so it just instantly got wiped, and so we had to get it back up there, and it probably took way longer than what it actually should have. So for us, it was actually a bit of a hit because we got removed from a whole lot of playlists that we were sort of historically on.
Hmm.
So it made it So we're just trying to, I guess, build that back up again and hopefully end up in people's playlists. But yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just literally the licensing lapsed and it was, an admin fuck up essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about before. You've been in this Disentomb thing for a while now, like 16 years, mostly like the exact same lineup, right? Like, do you think the
Yeah.
process, like the songwriting process or the sound, has that changed much since the start?
Yeah, definitely. I think because we're all in our mid 30s now. When we started the band, we were like 17, 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think when we first started out, we were just like, we just want to write the heaviest music, sort of. And then I think with each sort of release, we're like, okay, we've done what we've wanted to do. Let's just see what else we can do. And it kind of comes naturally.
Hmm.
So the sound has definitely sort of progressed a little bit, or maybe not even progressed, it's just changed. Where, I think Misery, our second album, that's where the sound sort of solidified in terms of what we wanted to do.
Hmm.
I think the first album is sort of it's still super sick. I like it. I think it's so sick that we wrote it when we were teenagers, but it was such an ode to all of our favorite brutal death metal bands like Disgorge and Brodequin and Internal Bleeding and that sort of thing. So it was like it captured that sort of moment in our lives when we were like just wanted to make a band like that. And then I think Misery was where we really sort of wanted to expand on what we wanted to sound like. And then with that, it's just sort of gone from there. So yeah, it's definitely changed over the years, that's for sure. But I wouldn't be weird if we were writing the same exact tunes 16
Yeah.
years later.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. You mentioned some bands when you guys started that you're all into. Are there any bands now that you've kind of, I don't know, that you weren't listening to back then that sort of collectively are all like, oh, these, you gotta fucking listen to this, you know? Like,
Yeah, I think Disgorge is probably the number one band for all of us. We're all massive fans of Disgorge.
mhm.
So I think if you listen to them still, they're still the top tier number one brutal death metal band in terms of songwriting, in terms of brutality and mixing all those elements of a genre that we love.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they're probably the band that we all still look up to as one of the biggest sort of, I don't think their albums can be topped.
Yeah, cool. So October 4th, you guys are making your way over here to Electric Eye Heavy Fest.
Yep. Yeah.
Back, so you guys, was it 8 years ago you guys were here, right?
Yeah, it's something like 6, 7 or 8 years. I'm trying to think the last time we were there. Maybe it was 2019 or 2018. It could have even been 2017.
Mm.
But it's just been so obviously COVID wipes out a few years, but it's been so long since we were there, which is so like we have so many mates there, so many sick bands that have come from there that it's really cool to go back. Like
Yeah,
we're
cool.
really excited, and plus like playing with Earthrot, like super sick bands that are playing this festival. So
Mm.
can't wait to catch up with. all of our mates and see some sick bands too.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah,
Um,
fuck yeah.
so other than shows, what's next for you guys? Are you working on another release or something like that?
Yeah, we're working on a new album, but it's just coming super slow. So
Hmm.
we're just kind of we got stuff happening in the background, but it's just sort of we're just focusing on playing a few shows here and there, and then just creatively doing what we can when.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, so just sort of taking it a bit slow aside from playing shows here and there.
yeah. Toys, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Look, Jordan, thanks heaps for your time, and I'll let you get back to your fucking birthday celebrations, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. I hope you have a good day, man.
No, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I'll see you in October, dude. Have a good
All right,
one.
see ya.